Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Teresa, Bill Cosby was released this week. I mean, I get what happened, that there was an agreement with the former prosecutor where he admitted his guilt, and the condition was that he would never be prosecuted. And so, because of a technicality, after 3 years of being in prison, they released him.
Not quite 3 years, but they released him, yeah, because of that technicality.
And, you know, I have just, this week, it's just not a good week because in the black community, it just looks like we have a problem. It's because of our history, we have a problem separating, like, racist behavior or the fact that other people have privileges we don't have and get away with things, that we get the water gets muddled. Because I'm hearing things from people like Harvey Weinstein and other men have done things and they didn't get, they weren't put in prison. And, you know, really it's because he wanted to buy NBC and he was getting too powerful. And I'm sitting back, I'm stunned and I'm hurt as a woman.
Yeah, I'm hurt as a woman, but it really is quite simple for me, though. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
That's what I'm saying.
It's quite simple.
But that's what I'm saying.
And he...
Exactly. It's like almost 60 women.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm like, what in the world? I get it. We all love the Cosby Show. But you have got to be able to separate what occurred and how horrible his actions were from any kind of, I don't know, twisted idea you have about being treated unfairly in this country as a result of the color of our skin.
Yeah, right. So, twisted, correct. But the Cosby Show is a show. That's not real.
Yeah.
And the way he behaved on that show is not who he is.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously.
Say that, sister.
Because he clearly admitted to doing it.
I
so
know.
he admitted to using drugs for sex.
The word that keeps coming to mind for me, folks, and I know, and I'm not going to say I'm sorry because this is my opinion now I feel about it. You have to be some kind of monster to drug a person, and they are incapacitated. They cannot do anything, and then to assault them, to rape them.
Oh yeah,
I'm just, that to me, that takes a whole nother level of evil to me.
I
as
agree
a woman,
with you.
You know,
as a woman, I agree with you.
So,
I can't even fathom having been in that situation.
And so,
you know,
the people who after Felicia Rashad did her tweet, and the Howard students and alumni are upset about it. Yeah, I'm with them. That's the side I'm on.
I'm with them too. And Felicia Rashad actually tweeted, well, I don't know if it was called tweeted back then because I think it was in the early 2000s when this whole thing first broke, right?
Yeah.
I think it was in the early 2000s. She tweeted support for him then, you know, and okay, I'm just going to try to play a little bit of a devil's advocate with her comments. Right?
Okay.
So she said, Miss...
I'm glad you warned me. Let me get, put it out there. Lou, calm down. Let me just say, okay, thank you. We're learning how to work together.
Yeah.
Because, girl, I will lose it on the show. Go on.
Yeah. So she said, I think she said something about a miscarriage of justice.
Yeah.
So I think she's referring to the fact that I'm going to think that she was referring to the fact that the prosecutor said he would not prosecute him.
Yeah.
And they actually did prosecute him. But here's the thing. He had some of the best lawyers.
Yeah.
Why didn't this happen? Why did it get this far?
Yeah, I think it got this far because they wanted Bill locked up for a period because of, this is just ridiculous. There are too many women that have been victimized. And again, his actions were pure evil to do that. And for women to make any other type of assessment is just, I'm struggling with all of that. You know, back in January, it was January 26th of last year, I wrote a blog and it was titled, I'm Not Sure I Follow Your Thinking. Mm-hmm. And in that blog, I talk about how we as a community, we have somehow got to be able to see, to make a better assessment about misbehavior when we're the ones misbehaving. We don't have a problem when it's external, when somebody else is doing something. But when it's one of us, it's like we put this cloud over it and we try to dress it up and fix it and we get all of these excuses. Well, again, you know, he wanted to buy NBC. What does that have to do with the fact that he drugged women and raped them? Well, he was becoming too powerful. Yeah, but did he drug women and rape them? You know, well, you know, he wasn't treated the same as Harvey Weinstein. Okay, but did Bill Cosby, did he drug women and did he rape women? Mm-hmm. That's all we need to focus on.
I don't think people who have that argument even realize or see or admit to themselves that he actually did it.
So that's what the disconnect is.
Yeah, that's what the disconnect is.
And that's part of it.
Here's something I want to tell you that I read and that I remembered. This whole thing didn't start because of NBC. This whole thing was because Bill Cosby attacked the culture.
That's right.
Men wearing their pants pulled low, and the language and the rap songs and all of this, and they clapped back. And when they clapped back, they said, well, you're raping women. So how does that make you better than us? So did we forget about that?
Yeah. Right,
did we forget that in that short amount of time?
But even in that, and I'm glad that I think it was a comedian or somebody that brought it out.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful for that. But should we only get upset when it attacks the culture? So the fact that he victimized women, that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
That didn't matter enough.
Yeah.
What mattered was when you come out and speak against the community. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like somebody stabbing me in my heart as a woman right there.
Yes.
Because those are heinous acts. And we all, Teresa, you and I know as women, we talked with other women, read stories, seen documentaries of the devastation, the impact that has on a woman's life when that occurs. So it impacts their daily walk, their decision making, how they interact, how they think. It permeates so much of their lives. Even when you get help or you go through therapy and you, in quotes, heal, that doesn't negate the fact that this occurred.
Right, and you're not just speaking of his victims, you're speaking of all victims, right? Right, because it absolutely does. It absolutely does. When someone goes free for a crime that they've committed against a woman, and victims at the hand of others They relive all of that.
They relive it, and Teresa, whether we care to admit it as a society or not, but it almost gives other men permission.
Oh, girl, yeah.
You know, it minimizes what has occurred to the extent that people feel a bit freer to touch, to cross the line, to make sexist comments.
Yeah.
So it just opens up a plethora of other, of other
consequences.
Yeah, other consequences.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that like I said, as a woman, it's just I feel like I've been stabbed, but the fact that it happened was one pain, but our reaction as a community, it's like somebody spinning me around because I can't get my footing. It's ridiculous.
Right, and not to mention, it silences victims.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, why would I tell anybody?
Exactly.
Because nothing's going to happen.
Right.
And if it happens, if something does happen, they're not going to be punished.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And it's that old boys will be boys.
Yeah.
And
it's awful.
Yeah. So I know this is a hot topic, and some people will be saying, well, why do you even address it? Yeah, because we're women, and this is Earrings Off. And let's be clear. If you're on that side where you're talking out of the side of your mouth about, let it, Bill Cosby didn't do it, and, boys will be boys, Teresa and I we're not down with that.
No, we're not.
Not at all. So that's our discussion today. And it's a painful day. It is an absolutely painful day. That's all we have.
Take good care.